Hello everyone, I'm Sandeep and on behalf of PSSM Australia. Okay, hello, hi everyone, I'm Sandeep and on behalf of PSSM Australia, I welcome you all to this online program, Buddha and the Maitreya Buddha. Okay. Yeah, I welcome you all again. I'm Sandeep. On behalf of PSSM Australia, welcome to the program, Buddha and the Maitreya Buddha. It's a great pleasure to have all of you joining from Zoom, YouTube, and from different parts of the world. We are celebrating this 11 days program in the lead up to the Buddha Purnima happening next week. And before I move forward, I want to extend my gratitude to Brahmarshi Subhash Patriji, who is the founder of PSSM. And today we are on the day 3 of this 11-day meditation journey. So let's start this program with meditation. Let's sit together for meditation. If anyone is wearing glasses, please remove your glasses. Sit comfortably. Relax your whole body. Close your eyes. Clasp your hands. Cross your legs. And observe your breath. Inhale and exhale. So your job is to observe the natural inhalation and exhalation. If any thought comes in between, just get your attention back to the breath. Acknowledge the thought, but don't get frustrated by it, and get your attention back to the breath. We'll play some music, which will help us to go a bit deeper. So relax and enjoy the music and enjoy your meditation for the next 30 minutes. Observe your breath. Observe your normal, natural breath. Observe your natural breath, incoming breath and outgoing breath. If any thoughts come, acknowledge them and bring your attention back to your breath. Be one with your breath. Relax and observe your breath. last 5 minutes. Last 1 minute. Slowly bring your awareness back to the body. Place your palms on your eyes. And with a beautiful smile, open your eyes in between your palms. Take your time, there is no rush. Once you are all ready, you can open your eyes. Again, welcome everyone to day 3 of the 11-day Buddha Purnima program that we are celebrating. It is believed that the 3 most important events of Buddha's life took place on the Buddha Purnima: his birth, his attaining of enlightenment, and his death, the paranirvana. And it's truly an honor to reflect on the teachings of 2 incredible masters. One is Buddha, who has spent years of his life in search of the truth and finally found his path, and then he has spent the rest of his life teaching that. We also remember our beloved Patriji, who has introduced Ana-Pana-Sati Meditation to us, to all of us. So it's my pleasure to have all these wonderful speakers who have volunteered to be part of our program throughout these 11 days. So today, Pruthvi ma'am will be taking the session for us. Welcome, ma'am.
Hello. Hi, Sandeep. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Friends, there has been a change in the last minute, and Pari ma'am is not able to join us. But Pruthvi ma'am has graciously accepted our invite, and she's doing the session for us. So yes, let's welcome Pruthvi ma'am. And ma'am, if you can please introduce yourself, that would be great. And
Yeah.
then you can carry on with the session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sandeep. Please call me Pruthvi. I know I'll be more than happy for that. I know it was actually Pari's mom's session. It was supposed to be, but I don't know what's the emergency on her side. So I had to jump in quickly for the session. So I am Pruthvi, joining from Bangalore. So I have been into research of psychoneuroimmunology, which is a body-mind connection. And I've been intrigued into the practice of meditation. And in my research, I've been actually studying the meditation and the brain waves, what happens when we meditate. And I used to actually work with schizophrenics, and we used to actually do a study on their hormonal structures and the gene patterns. What happens at that level, genetic DNA part of the level when the meditation is done, when we are guiding them through meditation, what exactly happens to their brain. All those studies I was involved in, and also I was looking at meditation only as a scientific approach to heal the body. That was my calling into the meditation, because healing the body and physical health was my priority, and that which brought me into meditation. But after I got introduced to breath meditation, when I started hearing about the words of Patriji, I could actually connect the dots. It made sense. It made so much sense to me scientifically. And I started actually, bridging the science and spirituality. Spirituality is nothing a woo-woo thing or a philosophy anymore. It's the practical way of living. That is what Patriji gave us. So meditation is like, the meditation is like, whenever you talk about Buddha, the very first thing that comes to your mind is meditation. So he has become a synonymous word to meditation. That is how the world recognizes him. And today, the bridging of the science and spirituality and spreading the meditation has been done through, the special friend of all of us, whom we call Maitreya Buddha, and my dear friend Patriji. So, first of all, thanks to these two masters for bringing this divine practice to the mankind, introducing it to us, and spreading it to everybody on this planet. So, without an ado, I know a lot of us have heard about Buddha, but my quest was I really wanted to know what Buddha has discovered. How did he discover? And how exactly that works, and how he became a scientific researcher. Just by looking within, he could understand the whole cosmos. He could understand the whole universe, how it works, everything about the universe. He could just understand by going within. So what really made him to do this? Why did he do it? Because he was a prince. He had all kind of, the luxurious, very comfortable life. He was happy. He had a beautiful wife. He had very comforting parent, and he was a king. And why he had to leave everything and sit under a tree and do all those things. Today, after 2500 years, we are still talking about Buddha, and Buddhism is the most accepted and practiced religion throughout the world because he showed us the path towards the truth. So in this program where we are doing this on the occasion of Buddha Purnima, and we are dedicating and expressing our gratitude towards Buddha and the Maitreya Buddha, it becomes our responsibility to know what exactly these two masters taught us, their teachings. It is very, very important to know and implement the teachings of these two great masters. So before I dive into the teachings of Buddha, the word Buddha is not a person. It is a state of consciousness. It is a state of mind. It is a state of being, which is named as Buddha. It is not a person. Whoever attains this state of consciousness becomes a Buddha. So let's not actually relate to one person when we call Buddha. It is the state of consciousness that we want to understand, and what is the path that will lead us to go to that level of consciousness is what we will be understanding today. So let me share my screen. I haven't done any kind of beautification. It will be plain text, but a lot of wisdom is in it. So for Buddha, he wanted to understand the quest for truth. He really wanted to understand what's happening out there in the world. He understood that the palace that he's living is not real. The people there are not real. The emotions and the feelings which he was experiencing was not real. People were imitating and acting to make sure he doesn't go out of the palace. But he really wanted to see the world, wanted to understand the world. That is where he just leaves his palace when he has got a newborn baby boy has born to him. He doesn't even look at the baby. He just walks out of his palace. because he wanted to know the truth. So here is what I was talking about. Buddha is a state of consciousness. So consciousness is nothing but wisdom or knowledge. So as humans, when we take birth on this planet, we come for two elements, we come with love and light. Most of us are, it's not most of us, all of us are made of love. There is no lack of love in any of us. The only thing that we have to evolve through is light. Light uh, is a synonymous word for knowledge. Light means wisdom. Light means gnana. That is why Buddha got enlightened. So light is nothing but knowledge and wisdom. So the quest, the very quest of the soul on this planet is the thirst of knowledge. We all have this thirst for knowledge. We want to expand our consciousness through our experiences. So Siddhartha Gautama, he left his royal life kingdom in search of his truth, of the truth, and then he followed so many methodologies for almost about 5 to 6 years. He tried every possible ways. He went to so many gurus. He fasted he fasted to the point of death, and he embraced every kind of techniques and suggested by the teachers and other aesthetics, but still he didn't find the way to live without suffering. He saw that suffering was still there. Whatever he did, there was still suffering. So what he did is, he actually did so much of efforts. He went to a state where he was about to die because of severe fasting. And then one fine day, he felt like, he should drop all the efforts. He should drop everything because he was expecting to know something. So he drops that expectation also. Finally, goes to that tree, the Bodhi tree, sits down there, and simply he'll just be with himself with total relaxation, dropping all the expectation. That is when he starts getting into his natural state and he starts watching his own breath. It is while he dropped all of these efforts and desire to know something, he sat still and he started watching his breath. And that is when he discovered this golden practice called Ana-Pana-Sati Meditation. So once he got to know this technique while he was with this breath, he understood so many things. He saw so many his past lives. He understood a lot of things, and then he came up with 4 noble truths. Okay, today we'll be talking about only the first noble truth. And the first noble truth that he found was suffering is everywhere. Misery is a universal malady. So he said, wherever you go, whomever he met, he saw that there is suffering. Even within himself, there was suffering because he couldn't actually attain a state that he was wanting. He had that desire, he was attached to that desire. Only after dropping that, he understood that there is suffering everywhere. There is no place on this planet which doesn't has misery. And then he also thought that the remedy to this universal malady should also be universal. It shouldn't be sectarian. It shouldn't belong to one religion. It shouldn't belong to one specific kind of practices. So he then came up with a universal remedy for coming out of suffering, which is the awareness of respiration, which is the breath. Breath met that requirement where, you cannot label a breath as a Hindu breath, a Muslim breath, a Christian breath. air is the common thing that we all breathe, And it is said that scientifically, the air that I breathe in and I breathe out, somebody out there will also be breathing in and breathing out the same air that I breathe out. So there is no difference. We are all one at the breath level. So there is no separation. This was the noble tool that Buddha came up with, the breath. That is why the breath is so special for us. And our Patriji said, breath is our guru in this path. On this path, whatever is unknown about yourself must become known to you. And breath will take you. Breath is a bridge from known to the unknown. Breath, we all just know one part, one connection with the breath. Only that is which is connecting to the body is what we are aware of. The other end of the breath is the source, the ultimate source. Only breath can actually connect us to that source. It acts as a bridge. That is why we call the breath as Guru. So, because respiration is one function of the body that can be either conscious or unconscious, intentional or automatic. There's no other function in the body which can happen that way. If you want to control your breath, you can control. When you're into too many things, you actually don't know whether you're breathing. It happens naturally, right? So we all know that breath and mind are so intactly connected, right? When you're angry, how do you breathe? Your breath is very fast, right? Your breath is very fast. Your heart becomes very fast. Your chest contracts. And when you're calm, you don't even know whether you're breathing. It is so smoothly happening. So breath and mind are so tightly connected. And as soon as any kind of impurity comes in the mind, you can actually know that there is abnormality in the breathing pattern. This is how I connected to breath because, my mother has a health condition called rheumatic heart disease. And the very first symptom that I saw in her was breathlessness. She couldn't even lay down back, and she used to have very fast breathing, very fast breathing. If she lays down back on the bed, she cannot breathe at all. So she was struggling to breathe. I really didn't understand what was happening. So then I started making her feel a little calm by massaging her body and playing some smooth music, because at that point of time she was so anxious she couldn't meditate. So I made her to calm down, and slowly the breath became slow and her heart rate became slow. So that is when I really understood how much, when we are so anxious, when there is a rush of thought, your breath becomes so fast, right? We have all experienced this. So, thus, the breath can help us to explore the reality not only of the body, but also about the mind. Right? It is not that it is just telling how your body is, but also your mind. So, one reality of mind which you began to experience today, like in the meditation, when you meditated, you have all been meditating since 3 days. This is the day 3, and just before this session, you all meditated, right? You meditated for about 40 minutes. What did you actually experience in it? You saw that the habit of mind is to wander from one object to another. It is not really sticking onto your breath. It does not want to stay on the breath, on one single object. Instead, it keeps running so wildly. That is why we have questions always coming in every meditation classes saying that I have continuous thoughts. I have continuous thoughts. What should I do about this? This is actually the habit pattern of the mind, which we need to observe. So, now tell me in the chat, when the mind wanders, where does it go? Type it in the chat. Where exactly does the mind go? apart from observing the breath? It's thoughts. Thoughts of what? Follows thoughts, right? So what are thoughts? Where is it? Where is it going? What exactly do you think about? Unknown places? Nowhere for me. What happened in the future? Yeah, thoughts happened in the past or future. Exactly. Thoughts of future or past or imaginary things about the future. Wonderful. Past or future. Okay, events, past or future. Okay, a lot of us are seeing the right answer. So that's exactly the habit pattern of the mind. Mind doesn't want to stay in the present moment. It will always keep worrying about the past. When we meditate, we go back what happened in the day, and yesterday what happened, who said me what happened in the office. All these thoughts keep coming. It is past, right? Even a minute before you jumping into this call is past, and you anticipating tomorrow I have these works, I have to this complete these to do things, and I have to take my kid here, I have to prepare that. So all these things, this is future, and I have to make this. So all these are past or the future. The awareness is wandering, the mind is wandering into the past thoughts or into the future thoughts. It's never in the present moment. This is the first thing that you realize when you sit for meditation, right? Now, the mind is very wild, very, very wild. So, by practice, you have seen it wanders either in the past or future. This is a habit pattern, and it doesn't want to stay in the present. The mind constantly escapes the present reality. Therefore, this wild mind remains agitated and miserable. In the present moment, if we are not totally here with total awareness, the mind is always agitated. It is always miserable. It is always anticipating something. It is not totally here. So, you have seen for yourself that at times thought arise without any sequence. This is crazy, right? In Vipassana, the day one, Goenka ji, he quotes a story. He says that a, a, um, a person who keeps begging will be very hungry. Okay. A lot of people will see that this man is really hungry, and some around five houses, people from five houses will give him food, variety of foods at a time. Okay, and he becomes so tempted seeing all that thing, and he starts eating without any sequence. Once he eats the rice, then he picks up something else, he picks up something else. He makes it so clumsy, so dirty, and there's no sequence in his eating at all. Okay, and people thought, okay, this man is so crazy, I think he must be a madman. That is what people concluded by looking at him. But in reality, we all are equally crazy. We all are equally mad because our thoughts doesn't have any sequence. You might be thinking about, eating an ice cream right now, and suddenly you will get an image of a horror picture that you watched yesterday. What is the sequence? How is it even connected? Why did it jump so unevenly into that thought? Right? We don't know. That is the pattern, that is the habit pattern of mind. So, such mental behavior is commonly regarded as a sign of madness. Now, however, you have all discovered this, that there's no sequence. The mind keeps wandering into the past or into the future. So, whatever this madness, the uneven sequence, we call it as moha. This happens because of illusion, because of ignorance, because of delusion. Okay, so understand the 3 habit patterns. Today you have experienced it all by yourself, that mind wanders into the past or into the future, and it has no sequence in his thoughts. Okay, so even if there is a sequence to the thought, in case if there's still a sequence to the thought, they have as their object something that is either pleasant or unpleasant. Now, you might be, desiring to go to a kind of, water park. Maybe, you are desiring to go to a water park, and you think about what are the slides are going to be, how are you going to enjoy the adventures there. There is a sequence of thoughts in that, because the emotions that you're feeling is giving you pleasant sensations, right? You're feeling pleasant about that experience. You're thinking about something, and there's a sequence because you're feeling pleasant about something. Otherwise, somebody has blamed you, has scolded you, okay, and has made some wrong allegation about you. You keep running that in your head. See, with the same sequence, what that person said, the same words keep repeating in your head, because you feel so unpleasant towards that sensations, that memory. It keeps troubling you so much. It keeps making you feel so heavy within, right? So whenever there is a sequence in the thought, either you are feeling pleasant or you are feeling unpleasant about that experience. So Buddha called this pleasant feelings. Whenever we have this pleasant feelings, we start craving for those pleasant feelings. That is why we get into addictions to food, addictions to bad habits like smoking and stuffs, is because we crave for those pleasantful feelings. We want those experiences, and that is how we cling on. That is what Buddha named it as raga. Okay, and the unpleasant things that we experience, we don't want to experience it, right? We are like, I don't like it, I don't want this experience. Somebody has scolded you, you feel very irritated, you feel burning sensations in your body, and you don't want to feel it anytime again, and you keep uh, feeling frustrated about it, and you like, I don't want to talk to that person anymore. So that is called aversion or hatred. Unpleasant feeling which you don't want to feel is called aversion, and Buddha called it as dvesha. Okay, so the mind has 3 things: moha, which is delusion. There is no sequence for thoughts, it keeps wandering. If it has sequence, it will either have pleasantful feelings which it craves. I like this and I want it more. Okay, if somebody compliments you, you feel so good. If somebody acknowledges you, if somebody recognizes you on a bigger platform, you feel so good. You feel like, I want this more, I want this more, I want this more, right? And so you start craving. That is raga. And if somebody scolds you, blames you, you don't want it. You want to escape from that situation. You don't want to even look at that person again in your life. You start hating. That is dvesha. So these 3 are the basic habit pattern of mind. So the actual purpose, when you go to the root, why you should really meditate. The purpose of meditation is to purify the mind, to break these 3 patterns of the mind, is the actual purpose of meditation. Okay, so that we eradicate all these negatives within and become free from the misery. And that is how we will start to learn to live in joy, peace, harmony. So first one must find the cause of misery and this harmony. The cause always lies within. And for this reason, you have to explore the reality by yourself. At experiential level, one must understand one's own nature mentally and physically. Now, I am telling you all these things. It shouldn't be like, you're just listening to me and you understand. No, at the experiential level, this is why Buddha became so famous even after 2500 years, because he said that don't believe just because I am giving you this teaching. Try it. Whatever comes to you as your experience, only that is the truth for you. So always go to the experiential level and look within yourself to understand all these things. Okay, so the mind is constantly filled with ignorance, craving, aversion, all other impurities, what we call jealousiness and the hatred, the anger, all this are stemming from these three basic impurities of mind. Okay, so by observing the respiration, the breath, you have started not only to concentrate the mind, but also to purify. Because what is happening is when you observe the breath, you're aware of the present reality. This inhalation happens only now. This exhalation happens only now. So you're bringing the mind to this now. You're not letting the mind to go to the past or to the future. So with the breath, you are coming to the present reality. As you come to the present reality, you start observing how your mind is working. Till now, you are in the delusion. You're living the drama. You don't even know that you have craving towards something. You don't even know that you have aversion towards something. But when you start sitting with yourself, observing the breath, which is so closely connected to the mind's nature, you will start witnessing it. You will start seeing that how mind is so delicate, how it craves for something, how it feels so disliked and doesn't want to feel something. You start seeing it all by yourself. So that is why, without judging your experiences, you have to simply observe without reacting to any kind of experience that happens in meditation. Quietly observe your breath. That is what we are practicing for the next in this 11 days, and that is what Buddha told us. So in this kind of moments, even if it is a millisecond where you are with the breath totally 100% in this present moment, you are purifying your mind. So even that millisecond of opportunity to be in the present moment is an opportunity to purify the mind, to come out of the misery. So do not miss any chance of meditation, and always try to become aware of the breath. And it's day 3. By now, you would have seen that there is some kind of discomfort happening while you're meditating, right? When the present moment is positive, the past and the future is negative. When these two collide in the meditation, an explosion happens. There's so much pain. For some people, some pain happens in the body, some discomfort happens. They cannot really sit. They start getting some pains. So this explosion is a sign that the meditation is working for you. Okay, so some of the impurities which is hidden in the unconscious level is coming on to the layer. It is coming to the conscious mind. So you have to quietly observe whatever is happening at that moment. Understand that what seems to be a problem is actually a sign of success in meditation. It is an indication that, in fact, the technique has started to work for you. So little by little, every day, when you start doing meditation, little by little, you will start bringing your mind to the present reality. You will start purifying your mind. You will see there will be a lot of discomfort, a lot of pain, but that is the clearance of your impurities, which is in the unconscious and the subconscious. So be open to the the experience that will be happening. It will pass by. It is not permanent. Okay. So this practice, I cannot meditate for you, nor Buddha can meditate for you. You should meditate, you should sit, and you should work all by yourself. That is why Buddha said, be a light unto yourself. Nobody can become a light for you. It is you who has to become the master. Nobody can be a master for you. So start exploring the reality within yourself. Utilize the opportunity that you're getting and be very regular in meditation. And let's walk in the path of Buddha and at least see some light that he has got in him. So this is what I wanted to start off with.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. That's very enlightening, or at least a ray of hope. We all do meditation, but we don't realize the bigger picture. I think your talk and the last 30 minutes of your session truly helped us in understanding the whole Buddha, his Buddhatva, and then his meditation method. So I think people have gained knowledge and wisdom through this. Can we take some questions, ma'am?
Sure, definitely. And I also saw yesterday's session where Balraj sir said, the one who doesn't meditate is a Buddhu. So to become a Buddha, he needs to meditate. That's really very true. Buddhi is knowledge. Buddhu is like, the one who doesn't have Buddhi. So if you want the true knowledge, the light, then please come into meditation and start meditating very, very regularly.
I can see hand raised by Shobha, ma'am. You can please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello.
Hi, Shobha.
Hi, good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, first of all, very sorry because my question is same as I asked in the previous session also, but I need little clarity. Whenever I try to observe my breath, I feel there is like no, I feel there is like no breath uh, because in the initial period when I start meditating, so I can see my breath and observe it, but right now as it has been long time, so I feel there is no breath. So I don't know whether I'm going right or wrong because in the initial phase the effects was a lot. I was feeling so positive. There is a lot of change in my attitude. But right now, when I am doing it, so I, uh, I, come to the now moment. But still, I feel that it was much better in the initial phase than now. So I'm very confused. Like I'm going right or wrong.
Yes.
Can you like throw some light?
Is actually a very, very important question as a beginner, and also as you start practicing. This is a very common, doubt that pitch in when we are practicing meditation, because, you know, breath is a gross sensation. It is a gross sensation. You're able to sense it. It is very gross initially when you're meditating. As you meditate, the breath becomes subtler, 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 and subtler. Your mind also starts becoming subtle, 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 and it starts coming into the stillness. When the mind comes to a stillness, your breath also comes to a stillness. It becomes very subtle, where you will not even sense that you are breathing. This is a very natural state in meditation. Okay, you don't need to actually worry about it. Keep observing. Don't analyze, don't worry. Just observe that state as it is. And if you
Okay, but like I am feeling that there's not much changes in my attitude. However, And earlier when I was doing it, I feel lot of changes there. Like I can do any work within half period of time, and the lot of changes was there. But I'm not feeling those changes right now. So like I'm very confused in this.
Okay, so psychologically, I'll tell you what happens when you start meditation immediately. There will be so much of chattering in the mind. When you immediately start a practice which calms your mind, you will see some difference, very positive difference, as soon as you start the meditation. Okay, but as you progress in the meditation, the graph is not like this. The graph goes like this. Okay, because as I told you, when you come into the present moment, the hidden unconscious impurities in the mind starts coming onto the layer. There will not be any kind of progress that happens which is visible, but the progress is still happening. Okay, the Buddha got enlightened only when he dropped all his desires, only when he dropped all his expectations, when he sat for meditation only for the sake of meditation, not to achieve anything, not to change anything, just to be with his breath. So drop all kinds of expectations. You might have had experience which made you feel very good initially. And right now you might not be seeing a tremendous kind of improvement with the practice, but still in your subconscious and unconscious mind, a lot of things are getting cleared, which is not visible to you. So trust the process, drop the expectation, meditate for the sake of meditation only. Just be with the breath. When you are taking out that 30 minutes of time, don't have expectations. Say that this 30 minutes, I'm only being with the breath. I'm making friendship with the breath. That's all. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namitaji, next. Namitaji.
Thank you, Sandeep ji. Thank you, Prithvi ji. Thank you so much. It was such indeed a beautiful session. We all do meditation for a long time, and we all know meditation fixes a lot of things, but layer by layer, the way you explain it is amazing. Now I've got a very good understanding what actually meditation does. And I've become very selfish when you said you're only gonna show us only one noble path today, because I'm so greedy to learn all four paths today. And I was thinking, oh, maybe we can learn more. But anyway, maybe we can have you some other day and then learn everything about noble paths, all four. My question is, we can see, and a lot of people do the experience sharing in meditation, they heal the cancers and all those things, and all the internal pains. But is it possible in a meditation you can see some external things change? Like, for example, people have, let's say someone burned the skin, and then if you keep meditating, your skin heal on outer side. Is ever somebody did that sort of experiences? Or is always an internal healing? And why
See,
is only internal?
healing happens in every level. And that is what ultimately Buddha said, everything is impermanent. Your skin changes every 6 months, you have a new layer of skin. Okay, every 2 years, you have completely a new liver. Your lung system is totally new within 8 months. So the human body is changing totally. In 3 years, you don't have the body that you had 3 years back. It's totally new. Every single cell is new. But why the diseases are carried in the body is because of the memory of the cell. The memory is carried on in the cells. Okay, so the healing can happen on the outer layer of the skin. Internal tumors can be healed. Everything is possible because this material, that what you are seeing as solid, is impermanent. It is not a permanent thing. It keeps changing. That is what Buddha, as he went into the subtlest level in his experience, saw that this tiny cell, what we call the cell, the basic unit of the body, is made up of atoms, and those atoms are having ashta koshas, which is what is that? I'm not getting the exact word. So he says it is made up of 4 elements: water element, earth element, fire element, and air. Okay, and these elements are changing so rapidly. So he says in the like when I spank, when I do this, the cells are changing almost 10 to the power of 22 times just in this millisecond. But we are assuming this body is permanent. We are attaching to this body, this name, this form. That is the reason, that is the core reason why we are suffering on this planet, because we identify ourselves with the body, with the mind, with the emotions, which is not permanent. So healing can happen at any level. It is absolutely possible.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Shivani ji. Shivani ji, please unmute. You can ask a question.
Thank you, Sandeep ji. And Pruthvi ma'am, thank you so much for wonderful session and beautiful teachings. And like Namita said, I wish we could hear the 4 noble truths. But today we'll, go with the first one. I understood you said that, Buddha said we have suffering because of 3 things: moha, raga, and dvesha. So my question is, personally for myself, after coming in meditation, it's easy to let go the hatred, and we are still working on moha. But how to practice detachment to raga? Because that's a feeling, that's a good feeling. Why wouldn't someone, attach themselves to a good feeling? How do you practice detachment to raga?
There's a eightfold path which Buddha gave it for attaining the enlightenment. Okay, in the first things he said, there is 3 parts in that. One is Silla, Samadhi, and Panna. So in Panna, Silla is the right morality, how we conduct ourselves. Samadhi is right concentration, where we meditate and bring our mind to the present moment. And Panna is the actual thing which will take us to the nirvana, okay, which is wisdom. So in that he says there is 3 parts in that Panna, which is Shrutamaya Prajna, Chintanamaya Prajna, and Bhavanamaya Prajna. Okay. In these sessions, when we discuss so many things, so many topics, we are listening to the wisdoms of others. What is happening is, this is Shrutamaya Prajna. I read a book, I listen to somebody. So I'm getting some kind of knowledge from this. And it is inspiring for me to think on whether it is right, whether it is wrong, how does it make sense. So I'm getting into Chintana Maya Prajna. Okay. These 2 are not the truth. I told you that we have to be detached from the experiences, whatever it is, whether it is craving or aversion, the raga or the dvesha. But how do you really experience it? How do you actually experience the detachment is Bhavanamaya Prajna, which is through experience only. The more and more you meditate, you will see that the good feeling that is coming, it's only a sensation on your body. You feel good. There's a very subtle sensation which makes you feel good. It's nothing outside there. Okay? Something makes you feel good and you want that experience again and again and again, which is not permanent because it is coming on to the material world. It's an experience of the outer material of the body. And we are attaching to something that is impermanent.
Ma'am, we are feeling it outside on the skin, but it's coming from inside.
Yes, because see, Now I have a craving for ice cream. Okay, I crave for food. I know whenever I eat that, I feel good, and I am getting attached towards that feeling. Whenever I feel low or depressed, I feel like, okay, now ice cream is my medicine. I should go and take it. If one day I am left in a desert where there's no ice cream and I'm totally depressed, I'll go low, right? I'll start suffering. I don't have control over my mind.
Now it,
Something outside is controlling my mind. And that ice cream is not permanent everywhere. I will not get it everywhere. It comes and goes, right?
yep,
So having the total control over our mind is what we are mastering here. Something out there should not control us.
yep,
We have been attached to something out there, the material stuffs. That is why we are suffering.
yep,
So it's all about taking the control. 100% of control of the mind is your responsibility. That is how we become masters.
yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Please, Kanchanji, please unmute.
Hello, Pruthvi.
Hi,
First of
Panna.
all, thank you so much for this wonderful, wonderful session. And really appreciate with the last moment, like call on you and you jumped in. And yeah, always things can happen. So I seriously believe like something has happened why ma'am couldn't appear in today's session. So Prithvi, like I love the way like how you explain everything in such a beautiful manner. Scratch you started, why to do and how to do, what could be the effects, how it declutter your mind, purification happen. And as Namita said, we would love to have more and like all the four truths, at least this part we want to do, we want to complete this wisdom with you. And yes, that's a gratitude to you for such a beautiful, beautiful wisdom sharing from your side. Love to hear you, Prithvi. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The masters are always with us, and nothing will stop. It keeps going on.
Yes.
So thanks.
That's what I understood one day. I remember we were working with Dr. GK, and he mentioned one day, Madam, whatever happened, show must go on. This is the word rule. Nothing will stop for anyone. And that's what we learned today. Whatever happened, plan A, B, C, somewhere you will lie down and it should go on. And yes, this show has happened so beautifully today with your gracious presence. Thank you, Prithvi, from the core of our heart, on behalf of the whole team. Sincere
you.
gratitude to you. Thank you very much.
I was about to add two sentences when I was talking about Buddha. I said after years of spiritual seeking, he attained enlightenment under a Bodhi tree and spent the rest of his life teaching the path to liberation from suffering through the Four Noble Truths and Eightfold Path. But for some reason, I didn't tell this, but ma'am has already told about the first noble truth. We need three more noble truths and the whole eightfold path.
I'm sure the other masters would be covering a lot of these things, and I hope even Pari ma'am comes on board and maybe she'll be able to make it up. So thank
Yeah,
you.
I have one question, ma'am, because you mentioned about the research that you're doing for people with schizophrenia. I just want to see, like understand in a gist of it. Basically, does meditation help people with bipolar disorder, all these mental diseases?
Yes, definitely. See, um, according to me, all of us are mentally ill. It's not just people who have been diagnosed with these mental disorders. They have the extremes of it. That's all. Even we all have this bipolars. We sometimes, we are very happy, sometimes we have the exact opposite emotions at the extremes, right? So bipolar is nothing but having two extreme behaviors at the same time. So, yes, meditation helps. Initially, for them to sit for meditation, we need to prepare their mind, because they cannot really sit with themselves and watch their mind, because it's really very crazy to look at the mind as it is. In Vipassana, what happens, a lot of people run away in the day 2 or day 3, day 4 and all, because they cannot witness their own mind, the nature of their own mind. They see how crazy their thoughts are. They cannot really stand with it. So initially, they need some kind of therapies, like what we do is talk therapy, where they can first relax the body totally and then start meditating with some kind of guidance and people who can guide and watch out and take care of their progress and guide them in the right way. Definitely meditation really helps. I feel meditation is the medicine. There's no other way. Chemicals cannot treat these mental disorders. Definitely not.
It's good to know. Do you have any other questions from anyone else? Okay, I think that's it for now. So we'll close this session. I would like to thank all the people.
Excuse me, ma'am, I want to ask one more question. Sorry to interrupt in between. Ma'am, why is it happens like whenever we sit with any senior master, and like I had an experience when I went to a academic center, and I sat there with a senior master. His name is Mr. Srinivas, and we were doing a circle meditation in circle, holding each other's hands. And I don't know what happened. Suddenly, I went into a zero zone. So why it is happens like some people's energies are so high that it affects us a lot. And should we seek some masters uh, to like to come into that level of energy?
Okay, you have two questions. The first question is why do people have different level of energies? One is you said you sat in a circle to meditate. That is a group meditation. Whenever we meditate in a group, the energy levels are 3 times more. The conscious levels expands 3 times more. Any kind of meditation, even virtually, when we are meditating here, 38, 40 people meditating at the same time, is elevating the group consciousness. So anytime you do a group meditation, the energy levels are 3 times more. And few masters, because of their knowledge and their practices, they will have a expanded energies. So that is your first answer. And secondly, should we seek out masters? um, and that is what I said, that Buddha, we are accepting his teachings only because he said don't follow any guru. That is what Patriji said. There is no guru or disciple kind of environment in PSSM. You have to become a master yourself. Be a master, be a light unto yourself. Don't seek out some person to elevate your energy. That is not going to really happen. Energy might be contagious, but then there is a lot of things in your subconscious, in your unconscious, which you need to work on, which you need to elevate your energy levels, which you need to bring the change in your behavioral patterns, which will happen naturally if you meditate. You need not do anything else. Continuous, regular meditation is all that you need to do.
But ma'am, like everyone shares that experience that whenever they come and physically meet the gurus like that, like someone shared in first class also, like they had very changing experience, like life changing experience whenever they meet uh, those persons. So in
Yeah.
that way, I'm practicing meditation daily, but in that way, I just curious about that particular thing.
Are you seeking for an experience or wisdom? Any kind of particular experience you seek out, you feel good about being around a person, is kind of a dependency. The whole path of spirituality is taking us towards freedom, total independence, right? So any kind of dependence for any kind of experience is you're creating a dependency, which is not right. If you want to feel something higher, you can use certain tools, you can use pyramids, you can use full moons, you can use the group meditations. And if you really feel like doing certain programs with the master, please go ahead and do retreats, but don't depend on them to experience something special. Again, you are building a craving for a experience. That is the reason for your suffering. That will become a reason for your suffering. That is not the truth. We are here to seek truth.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's really helpful and got a great clarity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Nalini ji, can you please unmute and ask your question?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, just now I heard that even schizophrenia can get better with oh, schizophrenia. Even schizophrenia can get better with this thing, right? Meditation. So, how about the diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and all, sir? Can
Ma'am,
they? Yeah,
yes, it is. See, all these neurodegenerative disorders happens
yeah,
because uh, the damage that happens to the brain cells. Okay.
yeah.
The more you meditate, your brain becomes healthy and your brain becomes more efficient. From
Okay,
you start meditation at a very early stage, it will really help.
okay,
And even at any stage, it will help. It might take some time, but it will always make the brain more healthy. It'll
okay,
huge the energy, everything gets to the brain, and it nourishes the brain. That is what is needed for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's diseases, because their brain cells keeps degrading day by day.
So if not totally, definitely some improvement will be there. That's
Yes,
what.
yes.
Yes.
They will start feeling the relaxation, and there will be definitely improvement. So they have to be regular with their practice.
Yeah, ma'am. Means, can I ask one more question? Like, any studies have been taken up, ma'am, like in Parkinson's patients, or uh, depending upon your.
A lot of research out there which
Oh,
has happened. See, I'll tell you in detail what happens when you meditate is, um, for these people like with neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and schizophrenia, they don't depend to delta frequency when they sleep. They have a very disturbed sleeps. Their
yeah.
sleeps are deep enough. Okay. Only in deep sleep, this delta frequency of brain happens, which will trigger the a secretion of regenerative hormones, which helps to heal the brain, heal the body. That is why
Yeah.
sleep is important. In sleep, a lot of repair mechanism happens because repair hormones are produced in the body. Okay. Because their sleeps are disturbed, if they are brought into meditation, in meditation, they can drop to this delta. The
Oh,
brain drops to delta, where their body starts secreting these hormones naturally and helps the body and the brain to repair. It is a slow process, but it definitely works.
Very deep stage of meditation, right, madam? Delta waves.
Yes, it is theta and
Trans
delta,
delta.
conscious, where your mind activity is very less. You're totally in that awareness of the breath.
Okay, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Harshita ji, please unmute.
Thank you, Sandeepji. Namaste, ma'am. It was a great session today. Actually, my interest always lies in the mind-body medicine. I watch a lot of videos on mind-body, and I was so happy to hear when you were talking how it's related, the mind and body, and you just spoke about how the body actually repairs itself, lungs every 8 months, and because of the memory, the disease still lies within us. So that was really interesting, ma'am. I have just one question, ma'am. There are few videos which is actually, I don't know if it is misleading or is it really true. Like a lot of people gain too much of energy during meditation and they start acting weird. So what is it all about? Because that's actually I'm meditating from past 5 years now regularly, but that stops me if from meditating too much. When if I say too much means like more than an hour, I'll be like, no, let me stop now. Why, simply why to meditate too much? So is that true, or why does that happen, and what is it all about?
What kind of experience are you talking about? Can you give more clarity on that?
People start jumping and they start acting weird and all that, right? Like they gain too much energy, they say. Then they start experiencing different sorts of feelings. So what is all that?
See, Kalpana, right? Sorry, Harshita. Harshita. See, there's a lot of accumulation, a lot of things we have been suppressing, emotions, memories, and a lot of things are embedded within this body. When you start observing, when you take out time to be with yourself, what you see as a crazy experience, people out there jumping, rotating, rolling,
Yeah. True.
are a kind of let out. They haven't had an opportunity to let those emotions out, and they are expressing it in their own ways. So we shouldn't be analyzing or judging or forming any kinds of opinions. Their beliefs, and they go with their experiences. That is what Patriji always said. Never analyze an experience, only share it.
Yeah.
Don't analyze it. Okay. And don't get scared also. It's not that somebody else is experiencing and you are going to do that same thing happen to you. Every sitting is a fresh, every person's experience is unique. So don't stick or, become too conscious about your experiences. Just
Sure.
observe.
Okay.
The purpose is to, build the skill of observation, not thinking.
Not getting
Analyze,
too attached, or yeah, sure.
analyzing nothing but thinking, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just observe. That's
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. That really answers my question. Thank you so much.
Add on to this, Harshita, with me personally, after some time of meditation, I just felt that I'm doing like this in my meditation. And people who are watching just thought it's a little movement, but inside me, I was feeling it's really big, going inside. I'm in my head a lot. It
Okay.
wasn't in my control. It was just happening. It
Uh-huh.
won't happen sometimes when I'm deep in meditation and I'm enjoying the music a lot. And
Sure.
by nature, I'm a dancer. I enjoy
Yeah.
music. I love dancing. Maybe that's why. But then
Okay.
it happened to me personally that
Yeah.
without control, I'm just swinging my head a lot inside my body.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
outside, we think it's just a little movement.
Little. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very natural, so we need not analyze it. There is energy also entering, cosmic energy enters the body.
Right.
Breathe little movements are quite natural.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot. Kanchanji, do you have a question or can we wind up?
No, just it was a request to wind up the session as
Yes,
Prithvi has to go
yes.
forward as well. And
Yes,
our technical team is having another obligations as well to fulfill. So thank you,
yes.
masters. And if anybody's question still got unanswered, please keep it with you. We will be having Prithvi again on our session. And so till then, watch this session again. Maybe get more and more questions so that we can have Prithvi for a 1 or 2 hour whenever she will spare us some time. Prithvi, I took the commitment in that way. I'm sorry I didn't ask you. But yes, thank you so much for this. Sandeepji, you can conclude for this today's session after just taking permission from Prithvi. Thank you.
Thanks, Prithvi ma'am. Thanks a lot for answering all the questions patiently. And thanks to all the participants too who have joined today. Would also like to extend my gratitude to PMC English who have collaborated with us. Satish ji, especially from PSSM Malaysia, for providing his technical support, and flyer support from Jenny, Pruthvi, and Sharma ji. And finally, a big thank you to the PSSM admin team for their support in making this whole session a success. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye.